The following is an interview with Dr. Marvin Bugalu Smith, who played as drummer in the psychedelic jazz band Sun Ra. He toured the world where he discovered Nichiren Daishonen Buddhism and the art of Rei Ki. Marvin is a Buddhist monk and a Japanese Rei Ki healing energy master. Here's the interview. See if you could learn something from it. I actually learned something from it. After the interview, I felt very dehydrated and high, full of energy. Even waking up a couple times in the night, still dehydrated after the interview, which is a sign that my bioelectrical magnetic plasma is vibrating at a higher frequency, which is causing me to be dehydrated from having extra electricity in my body. So I learned that energy can go through TVs. I had already thought that just watching the news, watching them blink like this while they say the news and do all their hand signs. And I thought like, yeah, they're trying to send me bad energy. But watch what happens and watch how you feel after this interview when you watch someone who's sending you good energy. And without further ado, here's Dr. Marvin Bugalu Smith.
Failed to show up for Friday arraignment. U.S. Marshals announced a bounty of up to $10,000 each. A business owner in Detroit, about 35 miles away, spotted the criminal's car. They called 911. They were found hiding in a baby art studio. Their attorneys say they were going to turn themselves in. They would never leave prosecution. I want to make that very clear. They were scared. They were terrified. They were not at home. They were figuring out what to do. Oakland County Sheriff Michael Bouchard disagrees.
So what? It was probably all.
He's pleaded not guilty to all charges. The judge set their bond at $50,000 each. All this comes as community grieves the loss of young lives.
Okay.
What is up, Marvin? This is Dr.
YouTube.
Marvin Bugalu Smith. The man needs no intro. He's a jazz musician, drummer, been playing drums since he was 2 years old. He was in the jazz band Sun Ra, at which point he toured the world and discovered Rei Ki and Nichiren Daishonen Buddhism. So that basically sums it up. I know the man as a Buddhist monk and a Rei Ki master myself. So, there's a musician side, but this interview, I'd really like to talk about how did you discover Rei Ki and Buddhism and all that. If you'd like to give us a brief synopsis, we'd love to hear. It's very interesting.
Okay. Well, I'm happy to be here. I'm 71 years old, and I feel real good about the whole thing, the good shit and the bad shit. The bad shit helped me grow. And at that point, the whole thing becomes good. The way I discovered Reiki, we know that Dr. Zhu was born in 18-something. And he died in 19-something. But that was only one lifetime. Of course, he was Japanese descent. And basically, he never really came to America. But when Mrs. Takata, his student, studied, and she wanted to bring it from Japan to Hawaii, the story changed. They changed it to him being a Christian monk. Because if he had a Buddhist monk, the following wouldn't have been quite as heavy. So he changed to a Christian monk, or the story changed to a Christian monk. And that would be Mrs. Takata, who was very, very good with Rei Ki, and she was a disciple of the Sui. He actually worked on her. She had a lot of different things, including tuberculosis, heart failure, and everything. But she overcame all the stuff through his teachings. And at that time, they didn't have Rei Ki 1, Rei Ki 2, Rei Ki 3. It was just one level. And in his story, he talks about being in the highest level. The highest level is when your word and your body heal without you asking it to do that. Because it's in such a high revolution of life.
Yeah.
It just heals itself over and over, over and over, over. He came down the mountain and stubbed his toe on a rock. When he opened up, bleeding and all that, all the stuff would get. And you know, back in those days, the footwear wasn't as good as what we got now, so he probably had sandals on. His toe bust open. But when he got down to the bottom of the hill, it was completely healed. And that was basically what we call in our time life condition. His life condition was so high that when he got to the bottom of the hill or mountain, his shit was completely healed. It was like it never happened. So he went on from there. And back in those days, we would have had an emperor. And then Japan would have had an emperor at some point. Or many emperors. One after another. The emperor was considered God. He was God in the form of a man. So, the way I saw it was, first I raised up on my drumming. I like the drums. Playing all these different colors, I like that. But as time went on, it started to change. It went from having fun on the drums to playing a whole bunch of shit on the drums every day to a healing thing. And it slowly turned into that. And I learned a lot with it because being one of the first black guys to bring Nam-myoho Renge Kyo to Europe, I wanted to know more about this enlightenment. I used to ask myself many questions until I saw President Decatur. That's when I knew it was true, because he's a human man. Humans can make mistakes. I found out that the mistake is really beneficial. The mistake blocks you from reaching your God nature. My question was, even though it blocks you from your God nature, there's got to be a way to make it right so your God nature comes in. In the story of the Buddha, his Buddha nature came in, and his warlike nature came in, because he was born to a king. His father would be the top king in the country of 8 kings. 8 kings, 8 major and 8 minor kings. He was one of the top kings, but they were warrior monks. If you stepped on their shoes, you had to take your shit out and get them prepared for war. They would beat you, take all your women, kill all the men, and then their men became the men. That's what they did. Sakamuni never wanted to harm anything. So that Buddha nature was in him from an infancy. And he grew until he asked the question. He saw all the luxury he had, which included a staff of women, a staff of beautiful women. So for him to make love was no problem because they had all the women. But he asked the question about, he had dreams about it, about that enlightened nature is. And so he took on, everybody in the country had meditation that they did. They would go into the forest and they would meditate. But Sakamuni was so, because he was really destined to be the Buddha, that Buddha nature was in him, and so he was able to go a little bit harder than the regular person. Where they stopped eating to rest, he wouldn't stop eating. It was said that he put his hand on his right rib and was touching his left rib. That's how clear he was. He was basically on the verge of death. When he understood he had to look Mara in the face without running away and confront it to find out what he really was. And it was just nothing but his ego.
It's like yeah, and Mara is like the kind of like the concept of the devil in Buddhism,
Yeah.
if I understand.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like when Solomon said, all there is vanity. Like the Buddha looked the devil in the face and realized all there was in his way was his ego.
Yes, he did. And when he realized that, full enlightenment set in. Full enlightenment set in on. He could go underneath that tree and just meditate. Basically, the deepest part of meditation is like sleep.
Mm-hmm.
You are in it. It almost took place outside. So if it rained, he was outside.
Mm-hmm.
He was still hot. He was outside. When he overcame Mara, his enlightenment set in for him, and he even looked different. I'm sure he put the clothes on and did his hair and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But they had a real good film on not too long ago. I made Josie watch it. I told her about it. I cried 15 days after I watched it. Straight. Every time I thought of it, it was like I lived it with him.
Mm-hmm.
So until we started watching it, I just wanted to know where she was at in the story. What episode? It was a good one. It was on for a long time, and I think it costs, if you buy it, it's about $250 you pay. And they send you all of the links. Real good one. Real good one. That's what I ever saw because it dealt with before Sakamuni's birth and after his birth. His mother died and he was raised by his aunt, who he thought was his mother. She told him in time that she was the sister of the mother. It was the best one I ever saw in my life.
And
I watched it maybe 6 times before Josie watched it.
do you know the title of the series?
The Buddha.
The Buddha. Oh yeah, I know. You showed that one to me too, actually, with the live actors and they're playing. They go through the whole story.
That's what I was on. That's what I was on.
Yeah.
Never saw anything that powerful.
Yeah.
Because most of them start when he walked off from the palace.
Mm-hmm.
Discovered before he walked off, the guards his father put up, they all fell asleep in a trance like and he just walked out the palace. Anyway, I studied the Zuri system in which you get three symbols. You get Chokurei, the power symbol. You get Seihike, the emotional symbol. And you get Horizontal Shonin, the master symbol. Also, you get Daikuyo, the master symbol, which contains all three. So I started to study it. And at the same time, I started to study Namyo Nikyo. I didn't want too much when I started to practice Namyo Nikyo. People wanted all kinds of things, cars, they wanted people, they wanted food, they wanted drugs, and they got all these things. I wanted to know one thing. What happens when you reach enlightenment? What do you feel? What does it feel like? What does it do? And then I saw Premier again. He was bad like that. He would walk, and everybody behind him would have to run. He didn't know how he was walking past. Led to the temple, but everybody behind him would run to keep up. So I started chanting. I wanted one thing. To play Betty Drum. That's all I wanted. And it was happening. And tens of thousands of people were coming to me because we were playing in Italy. We were doing concerts. It was all the Communist Party. The fascist party has all of the shops in Italy. Whatever shop you want to go to, food store, any of those stores are the fascists. But the communist people didn't have anything but a park. And they gathered there and the soup cost 80 cents, I remember. 80, no, about, they used to say 500 there was about 80 cents. And you get that, and you get a bowl of soup and a hard-ass piece of cooking bread, harder than a mother. You get that shit and eat. It was good. That's all you could get. But my brain started to change drastically. And then I was very good at introducing people to Buddhism. Now total that are in my stable right now is about 150,000 people. That's Italy. So my son invited me to come to Italy and live with him for the rest of my life, rent free. Of course, they made a statue of me and they told the story. It took all this time to do it. So that thing is there. And he, there he is. He said, look, I want you to get your girl, get on a plane, come to Europe, live with me for the rest of your life, rent free. And I started crying immediately. I couldn't believe that some shit like that would be possible.
Yeah, yeah.
But he that's what he wanted to still on. So now, basically, he's selling the mansion. He's going to get something smaller because they had a pretty big family. And, you know, he had a sister, and the brother, and the mother, and the father. The father died when he was 13 years old.
Oh, wow.
He met me when he was 14.
Oh, wow. So you're like a second father to him. Like a father figure.
Yeah. He's rich. Got fucking ponytail all the way down to his butt. Looks fucking crazy as hell. Looks like a fucking hermit, man. Mm-hmm. apartment, rich. So he supports me in everything I do.
And that
I knew he had the money, but I didn't want the money.
Yeah, so that whole situation came as you started doing the Gongyo prayer meditation. Your life started to change, and you began to make all these connections from that.
It was around him that I was very good at reading the Goso. So I asked questions. How the hell did Nichiren Daishonen put his life inside of a wooden fucking scroll? That was really important to me because that's how a motherfucker can do that. That's what I saw. There's a special prayer in volume 1 of Nietzsche's writings, and it's called Opening the Eyes of the Wooden Painted Image. That meant he took his life and put it in that scroll. And where he was studying became that scroll. So that became the Gohanzen. The Hanzen part of Hanzen, Gohanzen, is the part that when you chant, pours your wisdom in and keeps out worthiness in you. And the gold part is the honorific title. So the gold part is the honorific title of the Hansen. Hansen can become everything because if a man steals from the store and gets away with it or not, the Hansen is the part that makes him go in there and do it. Makes him go in the store and steal it in the first place. Because the Hansen in each person makes you do that.
So it's like a bit of resistance or like an adversary, but in order to bring you to a better state.
Well, if you're a stealer, when you go in the store and steal, it's your Hansen that made you do that. If you go in the store and bless everybody in the store, it's your Hansen that made you do that. So Nichiren Daishonen was the Hansen for the entire universe. That's what it is. He is the Hansen.
So he's like a messenger, like a messenger, a messenger for the entire universe.
Yes. Heavy.
Yeah. And so what did Nichiren really teach? Like, I know myself, I've read his writings, but for someone who didn't know.
Well, for the first, in the beginning, when he first came out, he said to regard him first coming out as being in his pre-Lotus Sutra teachings.
Mm-hmm.
The pre-Lotus Sutra teachings did not teach that everybody is the Buddha and you can reach it. But they delved inside of it. He basically hid the instructions in the last 8 years of Shakyamuni's teachings. That's when Shakyamuni came out and said, you guys are the Buddha.
Yes. Here, Erica's here. I'm sure you remember
Erica.
Hi.
Oh, you grew up.
Oh, yeah. Hello.
Good to see you.
Yeah, we're still together, so thank God for that. And we're really into Rei Ki, and we use it every single day. It's become like really a defining point of our lives, especially in recent times. We do hands-on healing. We use the symbols. We move energy in the room. And
recently today
Yeah.
we practiced like getting out of your comfort zone or feeling uncomfortable, like and stuff. Kind of like
Yeah.
practicing the way of never feeling comfortable and going into uncomfortable, like not feeling.
But,
Like the way the warrior is also being
yeah, we would both say
unknowing what you knew.
we've
kinda.
never got sick the same way since we learned Reiki. Like if we feel
That's good.
the slightest bit of sickness coming on, we know how to treat it and kind of meditate and get it to reverse almost instantly.
'Cause
And
you know the source.
yeah, the
Yeah.
source of the healing, which it's this energy that's around us. And really Reiki expanded my mind to be more responsible for my own healing.
Is your mom still living?
Yes, she is. She's doing quite well. She lives in
She's still
Gardner.
living in Newburgh, right?
Yeah, she used to live in Newburgh. Now she lives in Gardner, which is by New Paltz.
Gardner ain't that far from there.
Yeah. So she's doing good. She married a banker and is working out pretty good. She has a bunch of cats. Keep her
You
company.
mean cats like meow cats?
No, not that type. Like regular felines, like cats.
Pussycats, like with the
Yes.
tail.
Yeah.
Meow, meow.
Meow cat.
Yeah.
Oh, she got a bunch of cats around, okay?
Yeah. So and so how'd you meet Dr. Takeda? You came across her in Hawaii or?
No, I met you talking about President the man. I met his wife too, but her activity, she basically supports him wherever he goes. And when you see him, you usually see her.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't talk with her, she'll talk with the women group.
Yeah. So you met Takeda, the president of the Usui Gende Reiki Ho method. And how'd you come across Reiki?
We took 500 members to Tozan in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, every headquarters sent 500 people to go to Japan to study, and knowing that President Takeda would be there. Well, President Takeda said if you do one Shakabuku, he'll come to greet you at Haneda Airport. I did over 5,000.
Wow.
He never showed up.
Oh man. But
Yeah, but no. When all of the leaders got awards in Japan for their great dedication to the faith, I sat in the first 3 rows with the same guys accepting this award, but I didn't receive anything. But I was in the first 3 rows.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, even though I didn't accept anything, I didn't take anything home, I took it home.
Yeah.
So President Takeda let me find that out by, he gave each participant in the 500 some kind of present.
Mm-hmm.
He gave me 500 presents. 500 people. I had a present for each person.
Yeah, that's true.
That was on the plane, and it all came to me. So I was the top cat.
Yeah.
And the reason they praised me so highly is because to do Shakabuku in Italy is the hardest thing in the world. And the reason is they had that church, the Catholic Church,
Yes.
the Vatican,
Yes.
hardest place in the world
Mm-hmm.
to Shakabuku because of that church and that papa. But I did it.
Yeah. Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Like, tell me more about that. So like I kind of came in midway.
Well,
like,
he's talking about the Reiki, Daimoku, the prayer, the healing energy, and it's hard to practice because the Vatican is I don't want to say too much on YouTube, but it's like a source of negative energy. It's a source of
it dirties your soul, which a lot of like organizations that act as religious sects really are just cult fronts for hurting your soul. Like, and that's a lot of organized religions do. That's kind of our job is to fight through that. You know what I mean? That evil.
Yeah. So what are some of the things Reiki can cure? I mean, I think it could cure anything personally, but
well, I've had experience with that. My the cat that I grew up with, John Pretler, plays piano, arranges, good producer. He had cancer, but he didn't tell me he had cancer. He told me he had shingles, scales and stuff on your body.
Yeah.
He told me he had that, but he didn't tell me he had cancer. He might have thought, well, if I tell him I got cancer, I'll scare him away. But that didn't scare me because I wanted to see how powerful this Reiki really was. So when I opened up, I told him I started sending Reiki to him because when you get to a certain stage in cancer, they send you home with no medicine because they've done everything that they can do that's going to make you get better.
Yeah.
They give you the chemo, they give you all the stuff, and so, but they send you home. Well, when he was home, he didn't have medicine to take away the pain. And for one, I was always thinking about him. Then I'd call him up, and he started to wonder. Every time he was in that kind of excruciating pain, I would always call up out of nowhere. He wouldn't call me. He wouldn't tell me he had anything. I just call him and I say, "How you feeling today, John?" And he'd tell me, "Oh, I don't feel that good. I got a little pain." I said, "Well, get a glass of water." And he'd sit down, and I'd talk to him a little bit about the Reiki, and then I'd send it. And the pain would always go. So at the end of 6 months, the pain left him so good, he said, "You know what? I'm going to go up there to where Bugalu lives in Connecticut, and I'm going to go in the fucking house, and I'm going to find out how the fuck he was talking to me on the phone and the pain was going. How was the pain going and he had no medicine?" So he came up and he joined me, and I do believe John's and Reiki too now. Those challenges that were put on me, I just kept calling up, talking to him on the phone, sending Reiki. And every time it worked the same way. Until when he went back to the Inglewood Hospital, he said, "Mr. Pretler, you don't have any cancer. We did your blood work, we did all that work. You don't have any." But he wanted me to, John told me people in Inglewood Hospital, they were looking for a guy like me that could teach the nurses staff. Now, had that had happened, I would have went and bought a brownstone and made Inglewood Hospital pay for it. While I teach their staff. But it didn't happen. So I'm still here. The only thing in that thing is it didn't happen where the money got big enough for me to do that. But basically I got the benefit anyway because my body became the instrument of healing.
Yes. And what is that healing process like from your perspective? Like you envision some symbols, you do the prayer, the gongyo to charge you up, and you harness this energy out of the air.
After you harness it, it becomes a different. People call me all the time and say, "Bugalu, when you send me the Reiki energy," and what I had to do before was draw the symbols and call them in and all that. But when people ask me for Reiki now, I say, "Yeah, I'm going to send it," but I don't actually get a chance to send it. It sends itself. I'm like an echo. You say, "Bugalu, you just send me the Reiki and Reiki hits me and it goes right back to them without me doing all that."
Yeah. So it's become like a second nature, because I feel that as well. Like after doing it, I've been doing it now 20 years, Marvin. So I was 15.
Yeah.
And after doing it for so long, it's become like a second nature. Like I find myself reacting a certain way or moving a certain way, just feeling this energy, and it's like it's going through me. And I'm not really conscious of what I'm doing all the time. It's become like just another thing. And actually, we have a story when we met. One day, I don't know, like I was just like, charge up your chi energy. And I was like, you got to pull your chi energy into your bones. I was just trying to teach her about energy, like some basic stuff.
Reenacted.
And she really went, and
like
changed before my eyes, like all of a sudden. And from that day on, she was able to keep up with me everywhere I went. Most of the time.
I woke up that day.
Like
I wasn't even aware.
She was just as fast as me. Like we'd be walking together really fast. And before that, she wasn't able to keep up as much. So it really changed in that sense. Then we started doing the Rei Ki, the symbols, the hands-on healing. We do the Gongyo meditation. We do regular prayer too. Just about.
Then you see what the big pharmaceutical regime really is when you know what real healing is.
Yeah, when you know what real healing is, you know that the pharmaceutical industry is really like harvesting the negative energy. They're really trying.
Well, they want to keep the people stuck.
Yeah.
They want to keep the people stuck on something that's going to repeat and make them feel bad.
Yeah.
Now, one side of that is the money that comes off of doing that. Mm-hmm. The other side is the people dying. Now, you can't really kill life. You can kill the body, but the energy comes back. So, if people choose to do that, that just works negatively in their karma. They could be taken off the earth faster.
Yeah.
They could run into grave difficulties when they can't get around, walking or whatever. You know, the thing is about happiness. And if you don't know sadness, you can't know happiness.
Yeah.
So when people play those tricks on people, like I think that the vaccine has some difficulties in it because it didn't test it right. Everything else they tested right. They didn't really test this right. So who knows? Maybe it does everything it's supposed to do. But I'll wait 1 year because I got a lot of friends that got it.
Yeah.
And after 1 year, if those guys are still here, then I say, great, and I'll take it myself. If they're not here, I'm backing up.
I actually take that as like a token of an idol, and I think that what the regime represents with the, just for YouTube policy's sake, I'll say like the stick, you know, this it's an idol because you're seeking refuge in something man-made, and at the end of the day, it's not something man-made. We seek refuge in, and that's what's going to condemn our souls.
That's why I'm waiting, because a lot of people around me, including my son, took the vaccine. Now, Italy's different. They mandated it for Italy, so everybody in the country had to take it. Now, after 1 year and some change, if he's still here, I'll take it. But if he's not here, it's because nobody dies from the vaccine. You die from something else. You don't die from the vaccine. AIDS, when AIDS came, people say you got AIDS. Nobody died from AIDS. You died from pneumonia.
Yeah, even with COVID, a lot of people, they say they died of COVID, but they really had the flu and they had pneumonia, and they're making a lot of money off it.
It made hypochondriacs out of like everyone. Like who I never was. I'm still not afraid of the common cold and stuff like that.
So I'm waiting, because before they said they was going to have the vaccine, but nobody had it.
Yeah.
Now they had a renowned person that knows vaccines. First of all, that vaccine was made in the laboratory by men.
Yeah.
It wasn't made by Nichiren Daishonen. It was made by men. Men make mistakes. By the time they realized that these cats made a mistake, they got away with all the money, and in their wake, the people die. That's what I'm waiting to see, because I was protected from not getting it.
So, are you in Italy right now?
No, I'm home.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure.
Come visit sometime and hang out.
Yeah.
We come to New York a lot, not the city. But
Really?
Well, we go visit my mom.
Yeah, we've been
sometimes.
watching his mom's house.
Yeah.
Okay, let me ask you something.
Yeah.
How much Jack y'all got up there?
We could get some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Très bien.
Yeah.
Molto bene.
Yeah,
we digress. We'll talk off the book.
Yeah, we'll talk off the book.
We'll talk off the book soon.
Yeah.
Ti parla italiano?
Oh, sì, grazie. E tu? Yeah, sì, vivo italiano, so sì, parlo, io parlo italiano frequente.
Io compro la crack. I don't know how to. Yeah, like I'll buy.
I don't want to get
it. Yeah, we gotta watch what we say on.
We'll talk soon.
Well, you guys in Canada.
Yeah, Canada. Oh man,
it's like a
that also we'll talk about.
Yeah, Canada's like the 1980s, man. If you
it's like a free place.
Yeah, Canada is crazy.
I was up there. I played a lot of music up there in Canada.
Yeah,
a lot of jazz up there.
Yeah, it's a great place. The people are really nice, and
the food is excellent.
The food is delicious.
The quality,
even
the
police.
The police are so nice.
Do you guys cook at home, or do you cook at home, or do you go out to restaurants?
I get it from a restaurant usually, because
we're here.
You don't understand.
Oh, yeah. I know. Yeah.
I usually get it because I can never wait. I can never wait for it to dry off or whatever. Sometimes I
defrost.
Yeah,
it's too frozen.
Yeah.
We like it thawed out and charred.
Yeah.
I think that America's very strange to me because some of that stuff opens up your third eye.
Yes, I agree.
They don't want people to open that third eye up.
Yeah.
They want money.
Yeah. You see what it really is.
Yeah, I agree. Sometimes, like, I'll have a certain level of thought that I could never get to just on my own. I mean, maybe like once in a lifetime get to it on my own, but not like instantly. Like it puts you in a higher vibration.
It's like it goes like you're over 9,000.
Yeah.
You know, like you go like you just snap in. You're like, here I am. Like you have a new.
So listen, here's what we'll do. I'm going to New York in January, and I'll come up there. I'll try to come up and visit you then. It should be like the mid-January, which is actually my birthday's in January.
My reincarnation
Get ready
story.
for a lot of steps.
Yeah.
Because I'm on the 6th floor.
Okay, no problem.
Of the same apartment building that you were in with Ethan. So I was down in the first apartment.
I remember where it is.
Yeah.
Now I'm up on the 6th floor.
Okay.
Oh, like us. We were on the first floor and we just moved to the top floor.
Yeah, we're on the top floor now.
But I want to say every time we eat out a fine rest. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. I became Miyamoto Musashi. Like I had memories of being Miyamoto Musashi.
Yeah.
Oh, is your wife here? Sorry.
Yeah, she's in the next
I remember her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's in the next room.
How's she doing?
She's good. Later she gonna be 31 years old to 12.
Nice. And how old are you?
That's boss.
And I'm gonna be, if I make it, I'm gonna be 72, man.
72 years young.
That shit.
Yeah, you're doing good.
72.
Bro, you're gonna live to be over 100, man. You're over 100. You're 150.
Why don't we do this thing? I'm gonna show you this now.
Nice.
This is the way I made the Rei Ki Honza.
Yeah.
Now the original, I put it online on my story. It's up now. But this is 3 systems of Reiki that I first put up to understand how I would make the Reiki Honza and present the whole thing in front of the Go Honza and open the eyes of a wooden and painted image. So it's simple. I put it in front of Go Honza, making that prayer to give each simple life. Because people would ask me, they would thank me for doing Reiki and all that. And then they asked me, how'd you do it? Then I got to explain all this stuff about
so
doctors and all this stuff. This is the kata.
Yes, you made your own Gohonzo. Like Nichiren put himself in the Gohonzo, you put yourself in these symbols for the world.
Yes,
that is awesome.
And I made it because I wanted to leave Josie something that was a little more in my drum set and my cymbals and my stick bag and my sticks and all that stuff that you have as a drummer and as a person and all that like that. So I figured out how to do it.
Wow.
I really need to. And when I learned how to do it, then I put a big figure 8 around this.
Yeah.
And the symbols are inside of it.
That's incredible.
And most of the symbols have names. All of the symbols have names. So my figure 8 with the 1 in it is Daiku Bumamio. Daiku Bumamio. And then the Reiki symbols are to the side of it. And down the middle of it. Like that.
Wow. That's very impressive. Never cease to amaze, you know? Wow.
It works real good, too. Works real good.
Can you explain which ones are good for certain? Are there each have their own beneficial part?
This one calls. This is a Grandmaster symbol right here. And if you look on the arms, it kind of favors it. But this is Daiku Bumamio. This is Daiku Bugalu Mio right here. Daiku Bugalu Mio. Daiku Bugalu Mio. This, of course, is Raku. And that, of course, is Seike. And that's Daiku the shell. Again, this is Daiku Bugalu Mio on the opposite side. There's one here and one here. Of course, this is Chokurei. This down here, you see the figure 8. That's Daiku Bumamio. I made this a big one. This is supreme good fortune and supreme love. I have names for all of the symbols. Now it's much more than this. Daiku Nichinio. Daiku Mujo Ichirin. That's another symbol for Josephine. But it's her enlightened nature that I'm looking at.
That's beautiful.
It's not the nature.
That's a really that could be a
people need sleep and we need food. Symbols don't need food and they don't need sleep. And they never go to sleep. And so that they never actually die. They stay, they're not born, and they don't die. Nichiren Daishonen needed food. He had to eat food and do all the stuff that humans do. But the symbols don't have to do that. The Daigo Hunter doesn't have to eat food.
Yeah. That's true love, man. You know, like, wow.
So I believe that, of course, I fell in love with Joe.
Yeah.
And I was sitting on the bed one day in Ethan's house, and I said, man, I gotta find something that's not my drums. It's not what I've done in life. I've done some of the stuff in life, but it's not my drums and my technique and going to school and stuff like that. It's not that. And I found the eternal part of myself. And the symbols started coming through me. She made me 3 websites. Still got 3 websites.
Oh, wow.
She's excellent.
Yeah, I'll try to link to those on YouTube in the description.
She's a grandmaster. What I want to ask you is, we can finish this up on another day too.
Yes.
Make it 2 days.
Yeah. Okay. That gives us some time. Yeah.
What you get from it tonight, and go check out the Rei Ki Home Zone on my stories up now.
Okay.
It's right there. And if you want, you can take a picture of it. A lot of people take pictures of it. And then you have it on your phone. that you don't have to know Reiki because the new symbols that I found are the true symbols. Because Daikamio, Honsa Daishonen, Chokurei, Seihike, Roku, those are the provisional symbols of Reiki. You have to be attuned to those symbols. My symbols attune themselves to you.
That's amazing.
The true symbols, they attune themselves to you. So when you look at the Reiki Hanzen, it's sure you're either seeing all the symbols or you're seeing one particular symbol. That symbol will attune himself to you.
That's incredible.
That's what it's supposed to do. You're already attuned to the other symbols.
Yeah.
The Reiki Hanzen that I made, they attune themselves to you.
So when you pass on, your love for Josie inspired you to make these symbols and capture yourself in a symbol form with your energy that attunes itself to you. So in the future, when someone's using those symbols and healing themselves, you were the one who got the ball rolling on that coming into reality. Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful story.
Yeah,
that should be a Netflix movie.
Because the true symbols are like what Nichiren knew. He had to wait for the time to get right. 3 periods in Buddhism. Soho is the first period. It lasts 2,000 years. Shoho is the second period. It lasts 2,000 years. And then Mappo lasts 10,000 years.
Oh, wow.
So he was waiting for that period to come up. When it came up, it was time to write the Gohonzon.
Yeah.
The 3 farmers gave their lives for the Gohonzon. When he saw that, he said regular people, not Buddhas. Buddhas, of course, can give their lives for that. But he wanted regular people to give their life for it. And the 3 farmers that were beheaded did that. So that was the perfect time to write the Gohonzon.
Incredible. And now's the perfect time for those symbols, because that is just, if you know Rei Ki and like you could understand those symbols like how we do because we study it, like that's just the craziest story I ever heard. Like it's a really good idea. Yeah, it's a really good idea.
It's the truth.
Yeah, it's the truth.
It's the truth. Let me go. You step out of there and see where Josie is.
Yeah, okay, we'll let you go. We gotta let that sink in. We gotta let that teaching sink in.
You guys.
Yeah, so we'll be in contact.
Here she comes. Let me see.
Okay. Yeah.
No, she's not coming.
Okay, no problem.
We can make this thing. We can make this thing 2 days.
Yeah.
I got Marvin Man over here now, Ethan.
Yeah.
We're writing a book together.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank God someone's doing
So,
that. I'm not a good writer, or I would have done it myself. That's not really my thing. I'm more into just the energy and the Reiki.
This guy's good writer.
Yeah, so
he can really write.
So we'll let you go. We'll let some of those teachings sink in, and we'll get back to you in a couple of days.
Why don't you make a friend out of me on Facebook? I see me and you that friend.
Oh, that's weird. I thought we were. So I'll do that. Yeah.
Send me a friend request and I'll click in.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
I can't wait to keep
All right.
talking.
Bye.
Bye. Thank God. I can't. Peace to you. I can't wait to see you and talk more.
Ethan over there.
What's up?
Ethan? Good luck with the book, man. That's a great idea.
Thanks. Yeah, we're having a good time writing it.
Yeah, we'll promote it on YouTube when you get it done.
Right on, man. Yeah, we would love that. Yeah, that would be really dope.
All right, man. Nice meeting you.
All right, peace, my brother. Peace.
We're still streaming.
Yeah, you gotta stop streaming. Yo, that was crazy.